It's playoff time in Oklahoma City, and InsideThunder.com presents the Thunder Game Report, powered by Wheeler Whitlock Insurance Agency, giving you the best value for your insurance dollar.
Hi, I'm Randy Renner for InsideThunder.com. At Chesapeake Energy Arena, the Oklahoma City Thunder lose it to the Memphis Grizzlies. They got it into overtime tonight, but then just couldn't hang with the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies outscoring them 12-6 in the overtime period. Thunder losing it 111-105. They trailed for much of the game. It was really a complete reversal of what we saw on Saturday night when the Thunder jumped out to the big lead and dominated on the fast break. They really couldn't get their run game going tonight. And then the Memphis Bigs also had a big game. They scored a ton of points in the paint. It was the Memphis guards, though, who really came up big, and in particular, Tony Allen, the former OSU star on defense, harassed both Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook all night long. There were times in one possession where Tony Allen would start on Kevin Durant, and then if KD would hand the ball to Russ as he was coming around, Allen would switch over onto Westbrook, and Tony Allen just had a tremendous defensive game tonight, as did the rest of the Memphis Grizzlies. They hold the Thunder to 39.8% shooting. The Thunder did not have one of their better defensive nights. Memphis shot 49.4% tonight, and when they shoot that high of a percentage, a lot of times they're going to win, and especially when they get above 100 points, they're usually going to win, and they did that tonight. On the post-game interview room area, we had a chance to talk to several, of course, of the principals, both head coaches, and the stars of the game. Here's that.
Well, what a great game. Both teams really competed and left everything on the floor. I thought offensively we couldn't get in a rhythm early. Missed some shots that we can make, and give them some credit. They did a good job of putting their hands on us, and we didn't free ourselves up enough. Those are things that we're going to have to take a look at with the film and get better. I thought in the second half our defense and our offense gave us a chance. Unfortunately, we didn't make a couple of key plays down the stretch. But like I said, give them credit. They're a very good basketball team, and we knew that going into the series.
Coach Michael Kennedy, Norman Transcript. Can you just talk about the defense that Memphis was able to play on Kevin, especially in the first 3.5 quarters? Why were they able to be so successful against them?
Well, we have to do a better job to get their hands off of them. You know, that's one of the things that we talk about. We have to have better setups and better screens and some better looks. But those are areas that, you know, we have to look at the film and see why that's happening and go from there and try to get better looks next game.
Anthony Slater with Oklahoma. You guys settled for a lot of off-balance threes, late threes, late in the game. What was the reason for that?
Well, they were playing some good defense. It's part of playoff basketball. You have to find a good shot, and we didn't find enough of them when needed. But we gave up a couple offensive rebounds that were key, and we knew that going into this game that we're going to have to fight every possession and for the entire 24 seconds. We scored 34 points in the fourth quarter. We started off, we gave up an offensive rebound, a couple of them in an overtime, and I thought those were small details that we talked about. I thought that was a big part of their win.
Nick Thunder.me.com. Coach, you're down 9 in the fourth quarter. You get the 4-point play from Kevin and the putback by Perk. What were your thoughts about the play down the stretch?
Well, I knew going into this series that we were going to have some very physical games, and it's a lot of one or two possession games. And one thing you know about our team, we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep playing, and we're going to play hard, and we're going to try to do whatever we can to win the game. I thought they had some guys. I thought Bano really came in and stepped up and played very well for them. They gave Conley some quality rest, and his pick and roll game, and he was scoring. He has 14 points, and those were big points for him. And then Lee, we did a good job the first game. Tonight he had 16.
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoma. Scotty, you have anybody having trouble with Memphis defense is not particularly news, but when they shoot 49-point-something% and score 99 points in regulation, and that's a sign that your defense wasn't up to par. Can you talk about how it played?
Yeah, you know what? In the first half, I thought we were a step behind in a lot of plays. We were we were chasing the basketball instead of containing it in that first half. And I thought we made some adjustments in the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter it was a shootout. Both teams were finally scoring some points, but I thought that first half we were a step slow. And you can't do that against a very good basketball team. That first quarter, I thought we were chasing the ball around and not containing it enough.
And your bench, particularly defense as well as offense, your bench didn't do nearly what it did the other night. How much of a concern was that, or a surprise?
No, I mean, I'm not concerned. I believe in them all year, and I'm not going to stop doing that. We had some tough moments tonight. Reggie's had a great game last game, and he didn't make any shots tonight, but I believe in him. He's going to get a great opportunity next game to play better. But I thought Bano came in and did a good job of attacking and scoring points on us. But I thought their bench did a good job, and we have to obviously do a much better job next game.
Charles Thompson, Perry Broadcasting. Coach, talk about, if you could, it seemed like different in game one, their guards continually got in the paint. What adjustments they make, and what do you think you have to do going into game three to offset that?
Well, like I said, we got to play better in that first half. I thought, like I said earlier, we were chasing that basketball around, and when we're at our best, we're controlling it. We're using our length, and we're not seeing a lot of gaps and angles for our guards to get into the paint. But they did that tonight, and we have to make some corrections and make sure we do a better job of keeping them away from the basket. And they scored 56 points in the paint. That's too many points.
Kevin Green, Ion, Oklahoma. In game one, the offense got rolling pretty fast, and today Memphis seemed to disrupt you guys a little more. Can you talk about what they did differently to disrupt the offensive flow for you guys?
Well, in the first quarter, we couldn't make a shot. I don't know what we ended up shooting, like 25%. Give them some credit, obviously, but we didn't make shots, and a lot of times that happens. And you have to keep your defense in check. We gave up 24 points in the fourth quarter, or in that first quarter. When you're not making shots, you got to continue to try to get to the basket and try to get to the free throw line. We got to look at some film and get better the next couple of days and get back at it Thursday night in Memphis.
Scott, Kevin and Russell took 19 threes, 12 by KD. Is that a byproduct of Memphis' D closing things off, or is Kevin settling too much for that shot?
Well, that's probably a few too many for both. A lot of them we were trying to make up some ground being down 10. But we did get to the free throw line 25 times. We have to do a better job of trying to get points in the paint, attack in transition, but it has to come off of a stop. They shot 49%. That's not something that we want, and we haven't. That didn't happen in the first game, but we have to get better defensively so we can allow ourselves to get out in transition.
Anthony Slater with Oklahoma.
Go ahead and answer.
Okay. The late surge travel. Did you like the design of that play, where it was going, and just how killer of a turnover was it?
No, I mean, he took the 2 steps before he passed. But that's part of it. I thought they had Zach on Kevin, double teaming him. He didn't get a clean catch. His service has been great at finishing around the basket. I'm happy with the catch, but obviously I'm not happy with the result. But when you put 2 guys on him, Fish was coming up from the corner, Tabo was going to the right corner, but Serge was rolling down, and he didn't get a clean catch. But that's part of the game. You got to live with it.
Dean Blevins, Newsnight, kind of piggybacking off of that three-point shooting. Is it as simple in a sense that they got much easier shots than you did for the most part tonight, Coach?
Well, I have to look back at the film. There's no question. I mean, they got a lot of points in the paint. That's one thing that we have to be concerned with. I mean, it was an overtime game. We had a chance to, go up 1 late, and they hit a big 3. Or we were up 1, I think, with Miller's 3. But I thought we might have taken a few too many threes. but it's something that we'll look back at, see how many of them were good shots and or contested shots, but I don't know that offhand right now.
Last question. Royce Young, DailyThunder.com. Scott, I may be wrong, but I feel like in the past you guys have typically gone under screens with Conley and even Udrih too, when you have seen them. It seemed like you guys were going over the top of them tonight. I didn't know what was the thinking of that,
we've done them both. The last couple of games, we've tried to bottle him up and take away his angles and his penetration, his rejects and his splits, and he spins off of guys. But he's a good player. He's a very good basketball player, and our pick and roll coverage obviously will be looked at and see how we did throughout the game. But we got to keep him. We got to keep him off the glass. We got to defend for 24 seconds, and then we got to keep him out of the paint. It's all very sounds easy to do, but they're very tough to do because that's what they do well, and we got to take some of them away.
Yeah, Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. Kevin, you guys had some offensive mistakes at times, but would you say you lost this game on defense, letting Memphis just too many easy shots, 99 points in regulation?
Yeah, you can say that.
Could you expound on that?
I mean, they got offensive rebounds, they got some lay-ins, some miscommunications on our part. So, they scored some easy ones. So we just gotta stay with it, stay positive, and get ready for another dogfight.
There's obviously a lot of big plays that happened at the end of the game, but the play where you got a timeout on a loose ball and you didn't get the fast break seemed like it was a key play. What did you see there, and would you wish that you wouldn't have got the timeout there?
No, that wasn't a key play. We got a great stop. It looked like a jump ball, and coach wanted to be the first one to call the timeout. So, it wasn't a turning point in the game. That's not why we lost.
Anthony Slater with Oklahoma. Kevin, as a team, you shot 33s. You personally shot 12. Did you think you were settling for threes too much, or did you like the looks that you got?
Who, me?
The team and you yourself personally.
Well, I made 5 of 12, and I think that's a good percentage, if I'm not mistaken. But no, we shot the shots that were open. And, I think we settled for a few, but with all I said, we put ourselves in position to win a basketball game, and they made more plays than we did. So, yes, that's the name of the game. So, we're not panicking at all.
Myron Fox, they have the tempo that they want. They like a half court, and I know you guys can win that way, but how do you pick the pace up, or what can you do to pick the pace up? Because you had a lot of fast break points the first game. They were very limited this game.
Getting stops. We got to get stops. I mean, we can't, score transition points if we don't get stops. I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing for us, going to Memphis, getting stops and getting on the run.
Kevin, you talked before the series about knowing exactly what you were going to get from them defensively, from Tony Allen. Have they done anything differently, or has it just been, just typical Grizzlies defense?
No, they play hard. I mean, you got to give them credit. They play hard, and we do too. So, it's typical defense. They've been playing it all season. So we just got to keep, we got to move the ball a little better. I think our turnovers are pretty good. They turn it over a lot. But we missed some shots tonight. We missed some shots that we like. That we, Russell missed a few. I missed some. Guys miss shots that they normally make. So, mixed in with some of their good defense. But I like the shots we took tonight. So, just got to move past it.
That's probably their game plan. They do a good job of using their hands, but if the refs blow the foul, then they do it. If they don't, we got to play through it, still run our stuff, and still compete.
Hey Russ, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. Their guards seem to really kick it into high gear aggressively on the offensive end tonight. What's the challenge when Mike and Benno really drive the lane like they did tonight?
Just stand in front of them, use our body, use our hands. They just kind of was running around loosely tonight, and we let them do it. Got to do a better job, but just keeping those guys in front of us, and that's about it.
Dean Blevins, News 9. Guys, can you talk about the after the rally and then sending it to overtime? how deflating it might have been at the beginning that they scored, I think it was 6 quick ones to jump out in overtime?
And it's tough. I mean, obviously, we fought so hard to get ourselves in position to get in overtime, and, they made plays. We just got to, lock down and get stops when we need to, and, we're going to do that, and, if we want to win. So.
Kevin, Andrew Gilman, Fox Southwest. They made all sorts of plays last season too in the playoffs. There's so many close games. All 5 of them were close. What makes them so tough in those last few minutes? What makes them so tough when they're closing out these games?
I mean, they make plays. I mean, they tonight. I mean, in the overtime, they got that layup at the end. Zach got the layup. We turned the ball over. I mean, we. Sometimes it's just miscommunication on our part as well. We put ourselves in good position, but I wish I could tell you, to be honest. I mean, that's a tough question to answer, but we just got to watch film from this one, make adjustments, and be ready for Game 3.
Yeah, Kevin, that 4-point play you made, basically sitting on your butt, is that among the more remarkable shots you've ever hit in a big time game?
I don't know. I mean, we lost, so it really don't matter.
Tremendous game to be a part of, and I honestly can tell you that whether you win or lose, I know that we won. So. But I thought it was a great game to be a part of. The game was never over. There was a lot of great plays, and not just the ball going in kind of plays, loose ball, passion, playoff basketball, guys competing, teams competing, competing together. We did make some big shots. They made some big shots, got some big stops. Loose balls kind of got us a little bit most of the night, where they got and we talked about this before the game. Obviously, we give Durant and Westbrook a lot of respect and a large focus of our defense. But they did a good job of getting loose balls and offensive rebounds, and then converting those and kickouts, and just seemed like our defense was on the field a long time, so to speak. So thought we hit some big shots, got some big plays, and made free throws tonight. Did a better job of getting back in transition. Played slower, even though we got the ball up quicker, and we played deeper into the clock offensively, just to try to control the tempo of the game a little bit. So all in all, we're happy to be 1-1.
Two things, Dave. One is, what did you think when that shot went in from KD? I mean, there had to be a feeling of disbelief there. And then secondly, how does the team get back up after? Obviously, it's what the Grizzlies are good at, but how do you get back up emotionally going into overtime?
Well, we have good senior leadership, and what I thought about that was just one of those. Seemed like shots have been going in like that against us this year. So, and he's a great player, and he made a great play. So, we just. It's tough. It's tough to take that hit and go into the overtime, and for our season to be not on the line, but that was a big moment, and that huddle was a big moment for us because we came out and executed and got stops in the first 2 minutes of the overtime, where it is easier to take that hit and go, oh, and the air comes out of you. So proud of our guys. The guys chirping on the bench, helping the guys that were in. Everybody stayed focused, and Beno Udrih had a heck of a game tonight too.
Coach David Garrett from 107.7 The Franchise. Would you talk about the matchup you put with Tony Allen on Kevin Durant, his defensive job tonight?
He did a terrific job, just kind of harassing him, not letting him get a catch where he wants to get a catch. He's so talented and he's so big that if he gets into a spot where he's comfortable, and then he can create space when he steps at you, it makes it a lot easier. I thought he kind of just pushed him, not physically out on the floor, but just wouldn't let him catch it where he wanted to. So then he had to maybe catch a little bit further out and allowed our defense to shrink a little bit. But Tony was tremendous. I thought Tayshaun did a good job on him early, and given 2 different looks. Offensive players like to catch a rhythm, as we all know, and as good a scorer as he is, we tried 3 or 4 different guys on him, but obviously Tony had him probably 85% of the time.
You had a timeout late in overtime, and it turned into that beautiful play, Tony to Zach. What did you draw up in that huddle?
I can't even remember. Regulation or overtime? Overtime. Yeah, we're just trying to move them around, and what we had noticed was that they were they were trying to sprint up into our middle pick and rolls and give support off of Tony. So Tony made the right read. His man went to give support in the pick and roll and flash to an open area, which we're always talking about, and then make an attacking play. And if we get the ball in the middle, similar to like a zone, then you have to make a play. And he did it. He made a great play, and Zach made a great finish.
Brent Weber, KOSU Radio. To stick on Tony a little bit, before the game I heard him cheering his teammates about this game means more to us than it does to them. Coming out of the gate, you guys definitely played like this game meant a lot.
Yeah, we played a lot of meaningful games, and we played a lot of big games in here, and it's always fun, and it's always been great competition, and it always seems like it's close. So, they hit us pretty hard. In the first half of game one, they hit us really hard, and then like to prove a point or something, and they maybe had more urgency or focus or whatever. But I thought our urgency was there, but it was a steadiness. Especially on the road, you got to keep a level head and keep your composure, and you don't get too high and you don't get too low. You got to just stay the course. And which we did, which is important because we weren't celebrating when we were up 4 or up 5 with a minute left to go. I just said, there's too many timeouts, there's too many possessions left. Focus in. We get one loose ball, one rebound, and we didn't. But we stayed with it, through the overtime, which helped us, just maintain a more even keel.
Coach, before last year's series with these guys, Coach Hollins, we asked him, can Tony guard KD? He said, no, we can't do that. We're not going to do that. Of course, he did a great job in those fourth quarters. What is it about him? He gives up 8 inches. What is it that he is able to play Durant so well?
Well, it's been a big part of our season success when he's been fully healthy, and we struggled having him in the lineup this year, and with his injury, and now I think he's starting to catch a rhythm. He was really good coming out of the All-Star break. And then he kind of went through a little lull, and our last 5 regular season games, I thought he kept getting better and better, and was really good for us. So he studies a lot, spends a lot of time. Obviously, there's a high level of familiarity between the two because they've matched up so much and kind of having an idea. The other thing is that not to take anything away from his teammates, because when you guard a great player, you can't do it by yourself. You got to know where your help is. Guys talking to him and helping him through stuff and trying to smudge some other things that we try to take away.
Anthony Slater with the Oklahoman. You forced them into a lot of late contested off-balance threes. What were you guys doing to kind of force them that, or were they just settling for those?
I thought our activity was a lot better tonight than it was the other night. We pressured some passes. We pressured the basketball. I thought they kind of got to pass it wherever they wanted to. They got to spots on the floor that wherever they wanted to the other night. And I thought we pushed them out on the floor. Again, it's not a physical pushing, but just a denial in some areas, trying to take some things away and make some guys that you'd rather have live with them shooting or them making a play than Durant and Westbrook.
Hey, Dave, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman over here. Can you talk a little bit about your point guards, Mike and Benno, and just especially their ability to get into the lane? Did you guys talk about trying to really force the issue that way tonight?
We did. They do a good job of showing. They're very athletic. They shrink the floor in pick and rolls to try to impact the basketball. And we can't just sit there and scheme everything. Those guys, they put their head down and they got around the show guy. They got in the paint. We hit the rollers. Mark made a couple really nice passes out of short rolls or finding an open spot to put pressure on the defense and then swing it over. So it's really a team deal. But those guys being aggressive is a big key for us. And if we just stand there and let them attack us, it was about who attacked who and who was aggressive.
First thing first, Kevin Durant, lead scorer in the league, all-star, probably one of the greatest in the game right now. But it's just a competition at the end of the day, and basically it ain't about me or nothing. It's about the Grizzlies coming in here, basically playing grit and grind basketball, holding our hats on the defensive end. We got schemes that we try to take advantage of on the defensive end, and all we could do is just hope for the best when we shoot it, as far as making a miss. But we got schemes, and it's just not really about me. It's about our team.
Anthony Slater with Oklahoma. Do you feel like if you have used those schemes and are really physical with them, they will settle for threes, off-balance threes like they did late in the game?
Like I said, I got to do my work early. If that's being physical with them, trying to just
push them through screens, trying to just cause havoc the best way possible. It's kind of to my favor, but like I say, the guy still had 36 points tonight, so he's going to get his, and the biggest thing is just not getting discouraged and just keep fighting throughout the game.
Myron Patton Fox, could you talk a little bit about just the fact you guys were able to control tempo? And I noticed the first couple possessions of the game, you guys got deep into your own shot clock. Was that the plan, to do that to help you control tempo this game?
Well, I don't know too much about the offensive end, but I could tell you, that we just want to execute, and like I say, hold our hats on the defensive end, stop those guys from getting up and down, and play more of a half-court game, and basically just executing. We going to Zach and Mark for the whole 48 minutes. Those are our horses, and like I said, when we come back on the other end, we just got to key in and have our antennas up on Westbrook and Durant. And try to X out those other guys too, like Fisher, Ibaka, and Collison. Guys like that, Karan. Just try not to make those guys be effective all as one, because when they all effective, it's not in our favor.
Tony, David Garrett, 107.7 The Franchise. How much is this game about adjustments from game one versus maybe just playing your game?
Well, we know how they're going to defend us. We know what they're coming with offensively. Basically, it's just going to be a slugfest. We going to pound it, they're going to run it, and whoever can come up with the most stops pretty much wins the game. I don't think we know this team a lot. We've been fighting with this team for the last 4 years, so we take their best punch, they take our best punch, but this series is not over. It's going to be a tough one, and we just got to be ready each game.
Tony, Andrew Gilman, Fox Southwest. Last year, there's so many close games. Durant got you in game one, and then you guys were able to close out the rest of them, all of them close games, including overtime. Another close game here. How much confidence do you have knowing that you've been able to get the best of them when it really comes down to these one-possession games?
I just look at it like, Durant is basically going to get his numbers. Like I say, don't get discouraged. Value each possession. And we knew coming into this, hostile environment that we were going to have to bring our A game. And right now it's back an even series. We're going back to Memphis, and we just got to have that same focus for 48 minutes, playing hard, playing together, and understanding we're going to have to do it collectively. They're fortunate enough to have 2 All-Stars. We're fortunate enough to have 2 All-Stars. And like I say, this is going to boil down to stops. Who can get the most stops? And we can carry our load with just, defense. I think it'll be in our favor.
Tony, in overtime, Durant hits that fall-away 3 from the corner. You tip the pass away, nearly make the steal. What do you think when that ball goes through?
Man, I shouldn't even went for the steal. But, some guys are just special, and that was just one of those special plays. And he made it, to help his team, dig into our lead. And basically, we didn't never get discouraged. We knew it was a lot of basketball left, and we just want to close it out in the Grizzlies fashion.
Hey, Tony, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. You said you don't pay much attention to what's happening on the offensive end, but for you guys, Mike and Benno were so big for you tonight, being so aggressive. Talk about their play and just the impact that made on you guys.
Well, Mike Conley is our leader. He's been our leader all year, And Benno was a guy that came in, with the motto, you stay ready, you don't never got to get ready. And he was huge for us. But, we understand what we're trying to do offensively. And, like I say, we hold our hats on the defensive end.
Tony, how big was the first 2 minutes of overtime? I mean, you take that huge punch from the Thunder. It must have been sort of tempting to get down. How important was that first 2 minutes, and how did y'all get back up after taking that hit?
Just staying confident, understanding that those guys are going to make runs, and we have to weather the storm, by staying together and not getting down, and just basically understanding that we're going to keep feeding it in the mark. Mike is going to keep running the show, and like I say, it all boils down to just getting stops at the end of the day.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Mike Dean, Blevins, News 9. Can you just talk about what you thought was the biggest thing in pulling out the game for you guys tonight?
Tonight was getting off to a good start. You didn't want to spot them 10, 12 points in the first quarter. We weathered some punches. We took their runs and came back and executed on the offensive end. And when we can do that on the road, it's very, very good for us and our team.
Hey, Mike, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. One of the most successful things for you guys in Game 1 was you getting to the hoop. Did you guys talk about that, you and Benno, just really trying to press the issue and really get into the teeth of that defense?
Yeah, we wanted to be aggressive as guards. I thought Benno, he played well tonight. He was huge. You can't say enough about him. That's the style of ball he's used to playing, and when the point guards are making plays for our team, we go to another level. So, we definitely wanted to try to do that tonight.
Charles Thompson here, Mike, with Perry Broadcasting. Talk about, for you, obviously controlling the tempo today. You look so much in control with the flow of the tempo, the offense in command, putting everybody where they need to be, making the right decisions with the ball. Talk about what you saw from the adjustment from first game into this game.
I thought that first game as guards we were a little bit passive. We weren't being as aggressive, and for me, I wanted to try to go out early, be aggressive, make them have to play me in order for our big guys, our shooters, to get open, and we did a good job of that. Between Courtney and Mike Miller, all the guys who were knocking down those shots, to Zach Randolph and Mark, doing what they do. That was able to all come together by the penetration that the guards started with.
Mike, Jeff Kaplan, NBA.com. Hey, a bit of a loaded question here, but what makes Tony Allen tick?
I wish I knew what makes Tony Allen tick. He's hard to explain. He's a guy that he comes in every day with a chip on his shoulder. You don't know why. You don't know, what's got him mad, what's got him angry, but you just roll with it. And he tonight. I think playing against the top level competition and KD, Russell, those guys, he really gets up for that opportunity and that challenge, and I'm happy to have him on my team.
Mike, Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. What was the difference in your offense tonight? You guys shot virtually 50%, 99 points in regulation, got a lot of good shots. What was going on tonight that you guys were able to have such efficient offense?
Well, tonight I thought our ball movement was a lot better. I think going side to side with our offense, not just being so one-sided, not just throwing it into Zach or Mark. Guys were making the extra play. We were, moving the ball. When we move the ball and everybody's touching it, everybody feels involved, and you get a little bit from everybody, bigger plays from everybody. So the ball movement was crucial for us, and I thought that was a big difference.
All of the principals speaking to reporters from the podium in the interview room after the game. The Thunder will regroup now. They'll have a full practice session coming up on Tuesday, and then probably another film session before they get on the airplane and fly to Memphis on Wednesday. Game 3 and 4 will be there on Thursday and Saturday night. Thunder really need to win at least one of those games to get this series still even when it comes back here to Oklahoma City next week. We'll be with it the whole way, so keep clicking back at InsideThunder.com.